find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the New York Giants. Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Well, this defense for the Cards, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Barkley a first down and more. And finally down at the 36-yard line. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Throwing Jones. Open man, he's got him. It's Tony for a Giant touchdown. Kadarius Toney, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. 20, and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, Murray. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. It's so easy to focus on the speed and elusiveness of Kyler Murray, but as he shows right there, don't sleep on the arm strength.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of it.
The throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Touchdown, Cardinals! The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit, because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. But they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 45 on second down, Jones. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, Jones has just thrown his third interception. Picked off inside the 10. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 69 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
A gain of 3, second down. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. From the 17, Jones. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jones. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. We heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around, or is he a guy that maybe...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked patient, and the Giants are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jones. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And now here's another interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And that will set him up in excellent shape. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And to give this time to the tailback. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Second down and goal. Murray rolling to his right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cards are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Kickoff as they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Boy, we've had some great running backs in the NFL the last decade or so. As Saquon Barkley might be among the smoothest of them all. What a heck of a run right there.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates. They're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to it. And that's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Murray steps away. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 34. is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They call it a loss of a yard there, and it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Murray staying put for now. They'll go for it on 4th down. Murray sets to throw on 4th. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Giants. Kadarius Toney, 78 yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. Jones throwing for it. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive?
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there for Arizona. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. On play action, it's Murray. They'll roll him out right. Touchdown! That's caught. Rondale Moore as time expires in the first half. And the Cardinals will extend their lead on the final play of the half. Big decision there. They say forget the field goal and go for it, and it pays off.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make this call on his own? Or maybe the analytics coach got involved. And a lot of times you talk about that all week before the game. Hey, if we're in certain situations, analytics actually says do it this way, which might be against the norm. And it paid off for them in a really nice way.
Cashing in, and they're on the final play of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14.
With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. On 2nd down and 4. Rush coming, and he's taken down. After that sad 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. To throw on 3rd down. Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down. Off-play action, Jones. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 23. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a big 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. The mistakes continuing to pile up, but it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
He's got a man, complete, and all the way down to the 29. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point. 4 yards remain for 2nd down.
Back to throw. Jones. And now here's another interception. Jalen Thompson picks it. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Murray off play action. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Murray. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Cardinals on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on third down.
And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend the lead out to 24.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it's a second down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off.
And the Cardinals are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now it's Murray. He'll buy some time right. Oh, wide open, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd and 7.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now a handoff looking right. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. A handoff as they run the counter play. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
Jones throw taken in by Slayton.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to